Hi everyone, I'm Kelsie and welcome back to my channel, Connecting with Spirit. So in today's video, I am going to be doing a deep dive channeling and energy reading on the power outage that happened in Spain, Portugal, and some of southern France. But before I actually get into the channeling, I'm just going to give you a little bit of a background. So when this happened, it popped up onto my news feed, so I was aware it happened, but I didn't really think too much about it. I was just like, oh, okay, that's interesting, and left it at that. And I'm in India at the minute, and interestingly enough, the power here sometimes goes, but it's only for a few minutes and then it comes back on. But last week it was happening frequently, and it was also staying off for a lot longer than usual. So I just thought, oh, maybe there's something here that requires further looking into, further investigation in relation to the power outages. That's just what I thought when it happened here. So I decided to pull a card, and I'll show you the card. This is the card that I pulled, if you can see. So it's card number 19, Dream a Beautiful Dream. And when I pulled this card, the word that I heard was reset. And this card for me is always about the earth grid. If you can see like the little sort of gritty bits around in the card. So the message I got was about the earth grid being reset energetically. So I thought this was super interesting and really good news. So it was over the weekend that Spirit has mentioned to me that I should do a deep dive into this and see what the energy is all about. And this morning I was energetically preparing for this video. I'd had my breakfast and then I just kind of felt a bit wobbly in my stomach, so I was thinking, oh my goodness, maybe I've eaten something that hasn't agreed with me. So I checked in, was doing my usual sort of spiritual what would I even say, like routine, where I do a bit of energy work and check in with myself and whatnot. And this wave of tiredness just came over me, and usually when that happens, it means that Spirit has a message for me, or that I just need to lie down because I'm going to be knocked out. I.e., it's almost like angelic anesthesia, where I just fall asleep, and sometimes it's because the energy is so high that I need to be out for the count in order to integrate it. Other times it's because I astral travel and I go somewhere to get information. I wasn't lucid if this was the case this time, so I don't know if I went anywhere or any information that I got. But I was knocked out for sure. It was almost like I needed to be powered down and reset in order to channel the energy for this video. And then I came to and was just asking, was there any other information I needed to know before this video? So I looked at the numerology of the day that it happened, and that was on the 28th of April 2025. And if you look at the number 28, it is, if you add up the digits, it comes to a 10, so it's a 1 energy, which is a new beginning. And then if you add up the numbers of 28 April, which is 4, and 2025, which is a 9, you come to, I think it's a 14, which breaks down to a 5, which is about change. So this is totally in alignment with the message that I got in relation to the energetic grid being reset. Numerology I find is super interesting. You can get a lot of information by just looking at the numbers associated with that day, because it's almost like a code where the universe is programmed like that. So for this day, the 28th of April, it's all about new beginnings and change. And interestingly enough as well, this card is number 19, which is also a 10 energy, a new beginning energy as well. So yeah, I think this is going to be a really interesting one. I'm going to dive into it, see what comes out, and yeah, I hope you enjoy this channeling. So let's get into it. So I've already set up a sacred space and called in the angels for protection and whatnot. So I'm just going to ask my healing team of light to energetically connect me into the energy related to the power outages in Spain, Portugal, and southern France. Please connect me into that energy. Connect me into that energy now, please. Connect me into that energy now, please. Okay. I'm going to bring down this energy through my chakras and see what messages come true for this. So going to bring down this energy from source. I'm seeing yellow, similar actually to the color on this card. If you can just see it here, this sort of yellowy sort of, yeah, that's probably better. That's sort of yellow coming in for this and coming into my stellar gateway chakra. And as this beautiful yellow light moves down into my soul star chakra just above my head. Moving down into my crown, opening my crown chakra. Okay, so something here at the crown. Just gonna see what it is exactly. So I'm hearing the words opening up, but I'm just trying to get more information on as to what that means exactly. What do you mean by that, spirit? Like opening up at the crown chakra. Okay, so I'm hearing the grid lines themselves in particular are opening up so that they can receive more energy. More high vibrational ascension energy in particular. I'm hearing it's a lot of solar energy coming in from the sun, our sun, and also there's a central sun as well, I'm hearing. And I guess this is why I'm seeing it as yellow, this energy, because it is very much solar energy coming into the grid lines of Earth. And there's just that opening up there. It seems like it's opening up more than it has been able to before. So I'm hearing it is a lot to do with work that grid workers and light workers have been doing around the planet in order to be able to, I'm hearing like stabilize the Earth's grid so that they can open up further to receive further energy. And I'm hearing the words an anchoring in of light codes. And this is what happened when the power went out. That it seems like the grid opened up more so than it had been before. And the light was streaming in and the light codes were being anchored, which meant there was a knock-on effect physically in that, and the power lines were shut down. It was like electrically the grid was overcharged and just could not cope with the energetic energy that was coming in. So systems had to go offline and go down, like almost be powered down in order to reset. Okay, thank you. So something else here. Something else to do with the electricity in particular. What do you mean by that, Spirit? In relation to the electricity. So I'm hearing the electricity, the power needed to go out because the energy that was coming into the grid needed to be grounded. And it's almost like the electrical grid around this area, like almost like it was hijacked by the energy that was coming in to power the earth grid, and it came in through that grid, and as a result it was like overloaded and the power went out, but the energy came through the grid and then went into the earth grid, if that makes sense. It was like short-circuited because of the high energy that was coming in to power the earth grid as it opened up even more. And in order to ground it, because I would imagine this electrical circuit where the power is would be quite grounded for safety and all the rest of it, so it's almost like the Ascension energy used the grid in order to ground into the earth grid. Thank you. Okay, as I bring this energy down into the third eye. So there's something here that we're not seeing in relation to this power outage. Okay, so very interesting, because I did see a post, I think it was on Instagram, in relation to this message. It was like when the power went out, it was created an opportunity to connect with people, and this was in relation to the post that I did see. It meant that lots of people went outside, they were talking to their neighbors, they were talking to their family, they were talking to whoever it was on the street, maybe about the power outages or whatever, and it was like the power going down, there was no phones, there was no TV, none of the things that we might usually do in relation to technology. That was absolutely all gone. So it provided an opportunity to reconnect to other people and also to yourself, because there was no technology that was in the way that might ordinarily get in the way of that. So that is something that we're not seeing in relation to this power outage. That yes, it might have been an inconvenience with the power going out, where you have things to do, people to see, places to go or whatnot, but the part of it we're not seeing is that it also provided an opportunity to connect with other people on a deeper level, or sort of like a check-in with other people, and as well ourselves. And it needed to happen. It's like I'm just hearing the words like that was the point that those connections needed to be made, those conversations needed to be had, whatever kind of happens, neighbors helping neighbors or whatever, to build that sense of community and reconnect with that sense of community as well, was something that also needed to happen, and was an opportunity that was provided for that. And it was very much needed, I'm hearing. And it was like people had forgotten about that, about the importance of community, about how good it feels to just reach out and talk to strangers or to reconnect with neighbors and things like that. And it feels like it was a catalyst to start a spark in some people, to reignite that remembering of the importance of community and the importance of having a chat, going over to your neighbor's house, just talking to strangers, this sort of thing. And I'm also seeing like it's a catalyst for some people, because of what happened during that day. It's going to be like a domino effect, and they're going to do something as a result of that, because of what happened on that day and because of how much it impacted them. That maybe they'll start a movement, I don't know, they might start some sort of community gathering every week, these sorts of things. Like it has sparked something within a good few people, and it's gonna it's like a call to action. It's gonna cause them to do something in relation to this and community, because it touched them so deeply when there was no power, and this opportunity was created to reconnect with community, which is so lovely. Okay, as we continue down and bring the energy into the throat. That's so funny. So the power has just gone out now here as I'm doing this video. And bringing the energy down into the throat chakra. As the energy continues to spiral down into the heart and the heart chakra and the higher heart. So there's something here in the higher heart, particularly. Okay, so I'm hearing the power went out and the energy came down, and it was high vibrational ascension energy, and it was also linked into an activation. What I heard was to do with the power centers in the earth grid around the earth. Also to do with the higher heart of the earth. So I don't know where that is in geographically, let's say. I know Ireland is the heart chakra of the earth, but I don't know where the higher heart is exactly. I'm hearing, interestingly enough, Belfast, so it is around Ireland. So there was some activations that came in during this power outage along the grid lines to activate the higher heart chakra of the earth, and also to open up the other power centers along the grid lines in earth as well. And because of the activation, so sometimes when you receive activations, if you're doing an energy healing or whatever, I usually recommend that you lie down in order to give you your energy system and your physical body time for the energy to settle and integrate and recalibrate, so you can adjust to your new energetic system, the new energy that has come in. So your vibration, your frequency would be different, so you need to give yourself time to adjust to that. And it's like that's what happened during this power outage, that the earth grid needed time to power down and integrate and adjust to this new vibration that it's now holding. So it was an energetic reset. And recalibration, because those power centers were opened and the higher heart was activated. Okay, so bringing down this energy across my shoulders, down into my arms, into the palms of my hands. Again, the word community is coming in super strongly. So just like reaching out the hand, extending an invitation to connect to other people, neighbors, friends, family, strangers, whoever it was. This energy is just very much associated with this power outage as well. So you bring down the energy into the solar plexus chakra. Something else in the solar plexus. So what is it about? So seeing that beautiful yellow energy again. Yellowy sort of gold is associated with the solar energy and the solar plexus chakra. I'm hearing the words like powering up. And that is what has happened. So the energy streaming in was powering up the grid, opening up those power centers. As a result, the power went out because it was such a burst of other energy coming in for the grid. And I'm just feeling and hearing as well like it's a positive thing for the ascension, for the ascension process, and is like a physical manifestation that we're heading in the right direction with regards to the ascension. It's a sign for some of you. I'm hearing that you might have been asking for signs like physically in relation to the ascension process and where we're at, and if maybe the light was winning or things like this, that you just needed some reassurance, some encouragement, just a physical sign that this is one of them. So I'm just trying to ask, why was it around that area in particular? Why was it like Spain, Portugal? south of France. Something to do with like an entry point for the energy, the ascension energy that was streaming in, that it was easiest for the energy to stream into the earth grid here around in this area for whatever reason. And again, something to do with the electrical grid around there as well. Very well grounded, and it was just easily accessible by this sort of ascension energy. It ticked all the boxes for what needed to happen, and the entry point for the energy, and the energy needing to be grounded. Just it needed to happen in that area. For the grid at large, the earth grid at large. So hearing that we're going to start seeing more positive changes around these power points in the Earth's grid, to be on the lookout for them. What do you mean when you say power points? Is it the chakras? Okay, so it's like the ley lines and important power points in relation to certain ley lines on the earth itself, that you're going to see some positive changes around these power points in the earth, to keep an eye out and to look for the signs, and they might also even be in the news. Because of the energetic reset that has occurred, and the earth grid now being more open to taking in more energy, and there has been a shift in the earth's grid's vibration. It's going to have a knock-on effect for Gaia herself and all those people who are currently residing on her, not to mention the plants and animals. And to just look out for the changes of what that means as the vibration increases, as the earth is able to hold more high vibrational energy. So I'm hearing things like revival of plants and animals. So maybe more plants being or trees being planted, or they're thriving more so than they have been before. You might see animals coming back to different spaces where you haven't seen them before, or even species that we thought have been extinct suddenly just re-emerging, popping up out of nowhere. These sorts of things. Animals population increasing, getting bigger. I'm also hearing something to do with crime rates falling. Also a message about that there might be some more, there might be news of deaths, but it feels like it's in relation to dark energies, because the dark energies can incarnate in human form. So you can have like demons incarnated, reptilians incarnated, other species that have that are malevolent, so they're not benevolent. They do not operate from the heart. They're disconnected from love. And they can incarnate in human form, but because the energy of the earth is rising, they will no longer be able to be here on earth because the vibration is just too high for them. They won't be a match, and you might see that there will be an increase in deaths. But it feels like it will be in relation to these sorts of incarnations, the darker energies that are incarnated in humans, because they just will not be able to remain here on Earth because they won't be a vibrational match. So I'm also hearing like weather anomalies, so not in relation to geo engineering, these sorts of things. It's more sort of like I was seeing colors, rainbows, or some sort of weird colors in the sky, or just really unusual weather formation type things. I don't even know like the names. I've seen a few things, a few pictures, but I don't know the scientific names of them, but more sort of things like that where there's light involved, there's color involved, things that are quite rare that you wouldn't normally see, but seeing them more so now as we go further, as the vibration of this grid continues to increase. Something to do with fruit as well that's coming in. What do you mean when you're saying about fruit? Do you mean it literally or metaphorically? So yeah, both. It seems like something to do with fruit trees yielding more fruit than usual, and also like the fruits of our labor being seen. And by that, I think they mean in relation to light workers, in relation to the grid work, in relation to any work that heart-centered individuals are doing on this planet right now. They're going to see the fruits of their hard labor. They're just going to see, the returns of that, because the vibration of the earth is going to be more in alignment and supportive to them energetically, so they will see the fruits of their labor. Thank you. Okay, very interesting in the solar plexus chakra. So you move further down still into the sacral. Excuse me. So generally when I burp, it's about clearing. So I do feel like the energy that came into the Earth's grid was doing some clearing on the Earth grid also. Clearing out any old energy, any energetic blocks, any energy that was just no longer in alignment with the energy currently coming down into the grid. As we move down into the root chakra, and it just feels like very solid, very sort of supportive, foundational energy, the energy that is currently now in the Earth grid. And it is supportive to those individuals who are operating from the heart, who are in transition, who are starting their journey from operating from the heart, those heart-centered individuals, those ones who are on an ascension path, who hold the Christ consciousness energy. So I'm just hearing it's a huge step in the right direction for the ascension process for humanity. and then I'm seeing like my healing team of light having a bit of a celebration. So it feels like it's a huge milestone for the team lights, that they might have been working towards this for a very long time, and now it's finally arrived and it's here. So there are some celebrations, also a call for you to celebrate as well. That this is something really big for Team Light, and is to be celebrated because it is a major milestone in the ascension and in Earth's journey in the ascension process as well. Which is fantastic news. I'm hearing we still have a good way to go, but this is an excellent milestone to reach. As we bring the energy down into my knee chakras and down into my feet. So it feels like there are different things that we can now move forward with, that we might not have been able to move forward with before, because you might have been, you might, unbeknownst to yourself, because this might have been subconsciously, or your healing team of light have just been waiting for this milestone to be reached, and now they're going to give you instructions to say, okay, now's the time to do X, Y, and Z, because the energy is more supportive for whatever it is that you're doing right now. So you might find that you are now able to move forward with maybe projects that have been on the pipeline, they've been on your to-do list, but you haven't really gotten the green light, it didn't feel right. So you might find that now it feels right, the timing is right for you now, because the energy is now supportive for you to move forward and go ahead with these projects. It also feels like on a wider scale, so I'm talking like Commander Ashtar, Federation of Light, Galactic Federation of Light sort of stuff, that they also have projects, missions, that they are now going to be able to take some action on, in relation to the ascension, in relation to Earth and everything that's happening. It feels like that there is some other things in relation to that will get the go-ahead. Something else here in the feet also. So something connected to the feet and the root chakra, and I was hearing support for Grand Crew. So if you're here on Earth and you identify or feel that you are a light worker, you're on an ascension path, you operate from your heart, these sorts of things, it just feels like more support is going to be coming in for you. So if this is like you have been feeling alone, and you haven't really made many connections in relation to soul tribe, soul family, people who get you on that energetic level, that heart level, it feels like more support is going to be coming in for you in relation to that. You're going to be making those connections. The universe is going to be pulling strings for you, your healing team of light. You're going to be in the right place at the right time in order to meet whoever it is that you need to meet to support you, and you'll be supporting them as well. It feels very reciprocal sort of energy. It also feels like souls who are currently going to be incarnating on Earth are going to be of a higher vibration than have been able to incarnate previously, because of the Earth's grid increasing in vibration. Now higher vibrational souls, even more so, will be able to incarnate onto Earth. And this is also support for ground crew, because they're high vibration and will work to increase the vibration on planet Earth, as well as some of them will have really interesting soul missions in relation to completely overhauling the systems currently here on Earth, which will mean it'll be very much more supportive to the energy that's Christ consciousness, that's heart-centered, this sort of thing. Ooh, cool. As we continue to bring this energy down into the Earth Star Chakra, and I'm hearing the Earth Star Chakra of the Earth is leveling up. So what does that mean exactly? So hearing it's to do with money, it's to do with wealth, particularly for light workers, for those who are following their hearts, holding the Christ consciousness energy, being on an ascension path. The grid currently now on Earth is more supportive for you to attract the abundance, to attract the wealth, to attract money in a way that you might not have been able to before, because you might have been struggling with this. So I'm also hearing like there are remnants of the dark grid, the matrix grid, whatever you kind of like to call it. But in my mind, I'm seeing like the new Earth grid is really bright. It's really yellow and golden, and it's almost like the dark grid is fading to black, sort of thing. It's just sort of fading out. It's still there, but it feels like it's not as powerful as it once was. It still has a hold on some people, and it still needs to be dismantled completely. But it is not as powerful as it once was. And it feels like the new Earth grid now that's been reset, the new beginning, the change, it feels like that's more it's overpowering this darker grid. But it's not overpowering it completely, because there's still a bit of a hold this dark grid has. But it's certainly a step in the right direction to this dark grid being dismantled completely. Thank you. So something else in the Earth Star Chakra. So I don't know where the Earth Star Chakra is in relation to Earth. So I'm hearing Peru. I have absolutely no idea in relation to that. Is there a particular mountain range around there? I'm not sure. Being drawn to the mountains, the Earth Star chakra around there. So feel like there's going to be something happening in relation to the Earth Star chakra around that region. I don't know what it is exactly. Okay, wait. Are you going to give me that information? Lightning strikes, I'm hearing. A lot of lightning strikes happening around that region. And again, it's another form of grid work for the Earth Star chakra of this grid. Crystalline light grid on Earth. Thank you. Okay, so I'm just gonna ground this energy actually, sending it down into the heart of Mother Earth Gaia to be grounded. Okay, so I'm hearing it's like a call to light workers, grid workers. If you do energy work, even if you don't do energy work, but you just resonate with this message and feel the call to action to do it. I'm just hearing about pulling the energy down through your chakras and sending it into Gaia, asking for it to be grounded. So this is what I do. This is what I've been doing for a very long time, unbeknownst to myself that this is considered grid work. So this is when I usually do it just before going to bed, because I find it's easier to sleep if I do it. I will visualize or I'll set an intention, and I'll just pull down the energy through my chakras like I did during this session, and direct it down into the earth and ask it to be grounded to Mother Earth Gaia. And I'll usually do it maybe 3 times, maybe 6 times. I'll just keep doing it as many times as I feel like it's done, type thing. So this is a call for you to do this wherever it is that you are. If this resonates, to bring down the energy, the ascension energy, the energy of light, energy of love, whatever kind of you feel, whatever kind of comes to you. Even if there's some sort of astrological event, if it's the new moon energy, if it's the full moon energy, those sorts of energy, solar energy, to just set that intention or visualize that energy coming down through your chakras and sending it into Gaia to be grounded, and doing that as many times as you feel is necessary. Like every day, if you can, if you remember. It would be really nice to incorporate it into your kind of spiritual practice as well. Just a way of bringing down that energy to send into Gaia to power up the grid with this beautiful high vibrational ascension energy. Okay, thank you very much. So I'm just asking you, is there any other messages to bring through? And it feels like some of you might have been worrying or anxious Given the state of the world today, there's just so many horrendous things that are happening, even in your immediate environment as well. You might be having a tough time of it. The density is like it's quite dense, and the emotions, fear, and a whole host of different things coming up, and with the wars and everything else, like it's really difficult right now. The message that I just heard is for reassurance, that the light wins. The light is winning, and the light will win. To sit with that, to even say it out loud, and to just see how it resonates, where it falls, to reassure you that it's going to be okay, that the light is going to prevail, that the light is going to win. I'm just going to give you that opportunity now, just to feel into that and see what it feels like, that the light wins. Okay, so yeah, I felt that really strongly in my heart, almost like a column of light coming down in my chakras, and my whole internal guidance system, which I would consider to be my chakras, are open and expansive, which for me is a full body yes. So I'm feeling that really strongly in my heart, with my chakras opening and expansive. So I hope that you felt that too, that goes towards reassuring you, depending on where it is you are right now and what it is that you are going through, that the light wins. So thank you so much for joining me here on this little channeling, to dive even deeper into the power outages and just to see what was going on. I think we got some really interesting information and messages there. Seems very encouraging. So do let me know what you thought by leaving me a comment below. And other than that, thank you so much for being here, for tuning in, and until next time, take care. Bye bye.